Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Cooking for the Family. I'm Dyvonne and today I'm going to share with you a recipe for blackberry cobbler, also known as spoon cake. It's a recipe that has stood the test of time. I cannot wait to share this really simple recipe with you. So if you got some fresh fruit, let's go. These are the ingredients that I'm going to be using. I'll also have a list of ingredients in the description box below for your reference, and I'll also put the link to the vlog on how to make the fresh strawberry spoon cake. So in my pan, and I'm using an 8x8 cast iron skillet. Now if you don't have a cast iron skillet, you can also use a regular casserole dish that's also an 8x8. And that was 1 stick of unsalted butter that I put in my cast iron skillet, and I put it in the oven, and I turn my oven on 350 while my oven is heating up. It's also going to melt the butter. So while that's happening, I have here my fresh blackberries, and you can use any fruit. Blackberries, I used strawberries before. This recipe is something that hails from my dad's side of the family. My dad's mom, she made all different kind of just fruits, cobblers and spoon cake. They always called it spoon cake, but I know a lot of people do call it that cobbler. So I'll be using those two terms interchangeably, but today I'll mostly be referring to it as a cobbler. So with my 12 ounces of fresh blackberries that I went on and I rinsed and I let them just drip dry, I added in 1/3 cup of sugar. Now once I add the 1/3 cup of sugar, I mix it around because I really want the sugar to start to dissolve. Now something that I also do is I use my potato masher because I do want to release just a little bit of those natural juices. I want to kind of help the sugar to kind of dissolve some and also bring out some of those natural juices of the fruit. And when I press down with my potato masher, I just press down slightly, just want to release a little bit of that juice. And as you see, we're starting to form some juice inside of our bowl with our sugar and our nice whole berries as well. I'm using a 12-ounce pack of berries. It's a little bit more berries than I actually need, and so some of these berries we'll reserve and we'll just use it as a nice garnish on top. You want to use an 8-ounce pack if they have an 8-ounce pack in the store, but if not, I'm going to make do with this 12 ounces. A little extra berries is okay. And you kind of want to work quickly because our skillet is in the oven. Our butter is melting, and our skillet is also getting hot because we do want a nice hot skillet when we add the ingredient for baking our cobbler. So with our dry ingredients, I'm going to be using 1 cup of flour, and I'm using unbleached all-purpose flour. And with my flour, I went on and fluffed it up and then I leveled it off. You can also spoon your flour into your measuring cup. So either one of those is how you want to measure out your flour so you don't get too much flour packed into your measuring cup. Next, I'm going to be using some baking powder, and for our leveling, we're using 2 levelings. We're going to use baking powder and baking soda. So for my baking powder, I use 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and now for my baking soda, I'm going to be using 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. This recipe is something my dad would call a country recipe because you can make this and whip this up in the evening time real quick after dinner, and it was just something that was nice that they had anytime that they had some fresh fruit around. And growing up in the country, there was always some kind of fresh fruit that was in season during different times, and so they would make this cake. His mom would make this cake, and so it would be something that they would enjoy. And to the dry ingredients, I also put in 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I just put in 1/3 cup of sugar. So my dry ingredients consist of the 1 cup of flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and the 1/3 cup of sugar. You want to make sure you blend those dry ingredients together well. Now once I have them all mixed together well, we're going to add in our milk, and I'm using buttermilk. Be sure to shake your buttermilk, and we're going to be using 1/2 cup of buttermilk. Now something that's also nice about this recipe is that you don't need any egg. So the buttermilk, along with those leveling ingredients of the baking powder and the baking soda, because the baking soda is really what the buttermilk reacts to, is going to make this a nice light easy to eat cobbler. And so we just need that half a cup of shaken buttermilk, but we don't need any eggs. And so once I put the buttermilk in, then I mix the buttermilk in with the rest of those dry ingredients. Now right about now, my butter should be nice and melted in the oven, and my skillet should be nice and hot. And I'm using that cast iron skillet, but if you don't have a cast iron skillet, an 8-inch pie pan, you can also use an 8x8 square casserole dish, either one of those. And I mix the buttermilk in with my dry ingredients just until it starts to come together. And if your batter is a little on the thick side, don't worry, because we're going to put in that nice hot butter that I just took out of the oven, and we're going to put it all in with the exception of about a tablespoon, around a tablespoon, a little less. You do want to leave a little bit of butter into your pan, that you just took out of the oven. Then I mix in that nice hot butter from the oven, and so you're going to mix this around until it becomes semi-smooth. If it's still a little thick, that's okay, but you definitely want to work out the majority of the lumps. That's what you want to do. And so I mix it around, and this is what it's looking like. If yours looks a little looser than this, that's okay, but you want your batter to be like this because we're going to be spreading our batter in the bottom of that nice hot pan. And then once we have it evenly spread into our nice hot pan, you also want to smooth it out so it creates a nice bottom layer. And on this bottom layer, once everything is smoothed out and we have that nice bottom layer, we're going to take that fresh fruit plus some juice. So you're going to scoop up some fresh fruit and juice. Now you're going to need about 8 ounces of the fresh fruit that you're going to be using. So we're using 12 ounces, so we're going to reserve some of our fresh fruit and just use it as a topping. But once I scoop on the fresh fruit and also those juices, I'm going to go all around from the edge to the middle, that nice even layer of fruit and juice, and we're going to have that batter that's just going to bake up around those juices. And so we're going to put this back into our oven that's still on at that 350, and it's going to bake from about 30 to 35 minutes. Check it at about 20 minutes to see how it's baking up. And how you know that it's done is that it's going to be slightly brown around the edges and a little bit crispy. And also, if you took a toothpick and inserted it in the middle as a tester, it will come out clean. You might see a little juice on there, but you won't see any wet batter. And the juice would be from the fruit or just like little pieces of fruit, but no wet batter. And so it has baked up nicely. It is looking good. It is smelling good. I'm going to serve us up some. The batter is nice and fluffy. It is just encased with all those wonderful fresh berries that have popped and just look so good. And we're going to serve ours nice and warm with some vanilla ice cream. And this is definitely something that you want to enjoy the same day. I'm going to put some of those fresh berries on top with that little bit of syrup that it created. And it is just so great. And my blackberries, when I tried them earlier when I was washing them, I tried a couple of the blackberries. They were a little bit sweet and a little bit tart, just like perfect. Well, you are a guest in my kitchen, and so I'm going to give y'all the first bite. I've got some of the vanilla ice cream, that cobbler right there. Go ahead and take your bite. Now I'm going to take my bite and see how we did. Oh my goodness. This comes out so good. Oh my goodness, y'all. And you see how nice and fluffy that our cobbler has baked up. And the ice cream and those little crunchy pieces. I like those little brown pieces that are nice and crunchy around the edge. Well, I hope you give this recipe a try. This makes plenty of cobbler for about 5 or 6 people. And if you're just making it for about 2 to 4 people, you can refrigerate any leftovers and just microwave it for a few seconds at a time. Likewise, if you want to make more, you can bake it in a 13x9 casserole dish and just double the recipe. If you like the content, don't forget to show it some love and give it a thumbs up, and subscribe if you're not subscribed, and click share. Share this video with a friend or family. And remember, it's always good when Dyvonne is cooking for the family. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.